Today I want to talk about a franchise that is very important to me. That franchise is Uncharted. I have played all the games except for Golden Abyss, and I asked myself the question, if I had to choose just one chapter in the entire series, which one would it be? What is the best chapter in Uncharted history? Of course, it was a difficult question to answer since I love pretty much all of them. But after reflecting on it for a while, I came up with my answer. And before I tell you mine, I want you to write down in the comments which one is yours. There are so many worthy candidates and I want to see your opinion on it. Also, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so hit that like button and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I am the Valley Knight, and this is why Hidden in Plain Sight is the best chapter in Uncharted history. I think that the best chapter in all the entirety of the Uncharted series has to be Chapter 11 of the 4th installment. And the reason that I say that is because I think that Hidden in Plain Sight has all the elements that characterizes Uncharted. Not only it houses all the elements, but also achieved them in an iconic way in some of them, especially in one that I'll mention in a bit. Let's talk about them and go over each aspect in detail. The chapter starts off with Sullivan and Nate arriving at a local market in Madagascar. Previously, Nathan, Sam and Sully found a map that marked 2 towers. So the older brother is separated and we get to see the iconic duo together for this chapter. Just like that, we start off with the first reason this is my pick for the best chapter. For me, Nate and Sully are the most important duo in your travels. Elena could also be in this conversation, but Elena is Nathan's wife and Victor goddamn Sullivan is a friend. A friend that you met in your childhood and has been in all your adventures. He is very funny, he has that charisma and also wisdom of an old guy. So that makes him the perfect partner for this chapter. You and Victor cross the market and there are some neat interactions in this place. First of all, the graphics are fantastic. And the way that Nathan moves around the people was very impressive at the time. You can interact with them, buy a treasure, smell the food, and even pet a little lemur.
Hey Sully, look who's back.
You make your way to the church and to the surprise of no one, it's closed. You have to go through an alternate path and enter through a window. Here, in a good old Uncharted fashion, there's a secret room. You'll need to solve a puzzle to open it. The puzzle is more of a climbing puzzle because you have to ring 4 bells in the order that the statues appear. First the Scorpio, then Aquarius, Leo, and finally Taurus. As you can see, all the statues are related to a zodiac sign. And I find it very funny and interesting that Nate has something to say to all of them. Particularly the one when he mentions dating someone with that sign in the past. This also shows how knowledgeable Nate is in many aspects, while pointing out the characteristics of the zodiac sign's personalities. Once you finish ringing the bells, you still need to get to the biggest one that is on top of the tower. But the stairs are broken, so you have to climb again. Climbing is a constant in these games. This is another element that made me decide for this chapter. This might be one of the highest, if not the highest building that you climb in the series. You don't need to, but you can even go all the way to the rooftop and you'll get to unlock an achievement called I Can See My House From Here. Now, you have to ring the bell yourself because the lever is broken. You jump, swing it, and you finally open the secret stairway leading to the basement. But don't worry, your descent won't take that long because the building starts to collapse because the bell hadn't been rung in all these years. This is another element that is present in the games. Collapsing buildings and Nathan barely surviving with all the luck that he has. At the end of the secret passage, we can find a complex mechanism with all the pirate symbols that we've seen. We have to solve another puzzle to find our next clue. You need to rotate the symbols in the right position, which you can see if you go to all the paintings of their corresponding pirate. Another cool little detail here is that you have to send some pictures to Sam since he's away. And while you're taking the pictures, you can focus on Sully to see a funny moment and get another trophy.
Come on, say cheese.
Cheese.
Once you're done, you're ready to contact Sam and tell him everything that you found. But, plot twist, Rafe, who is the villain of this game, has intercepted the call. The thing here is that Rafe is a rich, crazy guy that doesn't need the money. He just wants to find the treasure because he's jealous of Nate and he hasn't accomplished anything important in his life. So, he has an entire army at his disposal, including hackers that received all the messages with the information of the treasure. Now, he's just missing what Sam found, So you hurry up and make your way to Sam. You get out of the church and you can unlock one of the funniest trophies in gaming history. When they showed Uncharted 4 in the E3 2015, back when the E3 was still a thing, they showcased this section, and the DualShock malfunctioned, leaving us with an embarrassing moment. Nathan Drake wasn't reacting to the commands. He just stood there for 30 seconds until they brought another controller. Naughty Dog took this as a funny memory, and if you stay still here after some time, you'll unlock the achievement. Anyway, you see Sam's tower exploding, and Rafe and Nadine's army has already arrived here too. You have to fight them in this little market, and this was an impressive fight back then. And even to this day when I replay it, because of how realistic the environment reacts to the gunfire. You can see that the covers explode, the mosaics start breaking, and even the seat backs start losing their shape. A big turret truck appears in your way, so you have to find another path back to your Jeep. When you get to it, you start the engine and rush through the streets to reach Sam. You make it back to the beginning of the chapter, with the two friends driving the Jeep and racing through the streets of this Malagasy city. But the truck pursues you, starting what is for me the most epic chase sequence in gaming history. Hell, the most epic chase sequence in any media. Period. You go downhill and you can even run over Nadine soldiers with your car, which is awesome. When you think you can finally take a break from all this, the turret truck appears out of nowhere, crushing buildings. So you need to make your way through different paths that will cover you from the turret fire. It is unbelievable to me how many things you can break apart while driving through the city and crashing everything. You can destroy some walls, ruin the hanging clothes of the citizens, and even tear down an entire marketplace with all the little stands. You arrive at this square and it's so crowded with the people running away that there's no way out. The only option you have is to trick the turret truck to leave you enough space to use the stairs as a ramp. Now you're out of the city. You just have to drive a little bit more and you'll finally get to the tower. When you arrive, Sam is already escaping with a little motorcycle. You and Sully keep on chasing him down, but not so fast because there's a river and you won't be able to make it across. Unless Nathan makes some quick decision making and tells Sully to take the wheel. He will use his grapple to attach it to the crane that is following Sam. Right before the road ends, Sully drifts and Nate jumps away from the Jeep, attaching it to the crane and swinging across the river. He even crashes with some wooden structure and climbs back up. But the river ends and now you start sliding in the mud. You don't let go and you keep on dragging yourself to the crane, and you can shoot to the vehicles around you to avoid dying. This is where we get another iconic sequence from the Uncharted saga. The first Uncharted had a Jeep pursuit in the jungle where Elena drove and you just had to shoot the enemies to complete the level. Then Uncharted 2 came and took it a step further by having a similar sequence in the snowy mountains of Nepal, letting you jump from one truck to another. When Uncharted 3 came out, they did the same. But now, you were in the middle of the desert, and they let you have a horse that you could use to get from one vehicle to another. I didn't know how they could reach that level of quality again, the spectacle and the fun to match the previous games. But this one hit the ball out of the park. You see, there are a bunch of vehicles lined up in a caravan form. You have to reach Sam, but now you can use all the mechanics that you've had previously. You can use a grapple to attach it to other vehicles and drag in the mud. You can get on top of the trucks and shoot the enemy vehicles. And most importantly, you can jump to another car, take the wheel, and keep on tracking Sam. You have to do this continuously because at some point the truck where you are gets really damaged by the enemy fire, and you have to jump from it. You get a cool sequence where you get to punch the guys in the vehicle that you just landed on. And then you get a camera angle that lets you see the explosion of the truck where you just were. It's just awesome.
Hello!
You continue advancing in your Jeep and taking out bad guys one by one. You cannot shoot them because you're driving, but you can crash them and then jump to a bigger truck and repeat the process until you reach Sam. Trust me, if I had a camera recording me during this pursuit, I can bet you that I was smiling from ear to ear from start to finish. At the end, once you're done with the bigger trucks, you have to take care of the motorcycles and finally get to Sam. He has a brief conversation with Nate and they start fighting over what's better, either for Sam to join Nate on the Jeep or Nate to hop on Sam's bike. But then, Sam breaks and Nathan is crushed by, you guessed it,
Watch out!
the turret truck once again. Seriously, these guys don't give up. But this time, it will end for good. Nathan falls unconscious and he has to escape the Jeep because he gets trapped under it. He gets shot at, but Sam arrives just in time to save him, and they have to escape the turret truck. Sam starts driving away from it while you have to shoot the truck's engine and make it explode. The sequence is a little glimpse to Uncharted 2 because it had a similar scene. The frickin' truck is a goddamn tank, and it starts destroying everything on its way just to get to you. But Sam and Nate are faster and are able to handle obstacles better because of this size. The truck's ambition to finally finish you is so big that in its attempt to get to you, it crashed so many things and got so damaged that at the end, it ends up exploding, giving us the coolest ending to the entire chase sequence that I just mentioned. Just phenomenal. When this whole thing was over, I was left speechless. It was impressive. The entirety of Uncharted 4 is visually stunning with incredible fights and sequences. But this one stands as one of the best in the entire franchise because of all the things that you get to do in this chapter, and most importantly, how well they managed to achieve them. Sam, Sully, and Nathan return home victorious because now they have a map with the location of Aver's treasure. But the feeling of glory soon fades away when Nathan sees Elena.
How's the Malaysia job going, Nate? Seems like you're a hair off course.
His wife and life partner is in the same apartment where they're staying. Nathan had lied to Elena about this adventure, saying that he was going to do the Malaysian job because he wanted to protect her. But at the end, he ended up causing what he wanted to avoid.
If you're done lying to me, then you should stop lying to yourself.
Elena, frustrated, betrayed, and most of all, heartbroken, leaves the room and goes away. The remaining trio have a discussion about this being too much. Sully is a good angel and Sam is a bad influence. Nathan feels bad and acts out of impulsiveness, sending Sully after Elena, and continuing the quest to save his brother. And just like that, Hidden in Plain Sight ends. This chapter covers most of the things that make the Uncharted series so iconic, such as climbing, solving puzzles, fighting against an army, and having the coolest chase sequence in video game history, ending with a plot twist and showcasing that Nate is not only doing this for Sam, but also because he truly loves a sense of adventure, and he wants to protect his loved ones. He doesn't want fame and glory. He is just happy and excited to live the thrill of it. And that's why Chapter 11 of Uncharted 4 is the best chapter in the Uncharted series in my opinion. Again, there are so many cool chapters in these games, so let me know which one is your favorite and why. I would love to read you down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Valley Knight, and I'll see you in the next video.